जहाँ हो प्यार का बसेरा और रिश्तों की खुशबू, वो है आपका अपना घर संसार. Join me on Ghar Sansar, Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. till 12 p.m. only on Radio Fiji 2.
Nisambulo binaka oya wone kamanalangi oni nandorungo diao mai na diwa kina rua na bisinga mai na moniti kina bagarumbu kana Radio Fiji 1 ndomai biti bongani bianyanu nama katalenga na benga ona sasi biani na tinna kaloko na bembongi ni bukelulu kena bima mani walu na bembongi ni bakarowai mai na mbuza ni balu ninge namaka.
Tonight, student rape incident sees police warn parents on keeping a lookout on their children. Traveller arrested at Nandi airport using a forged passport. And demand for dalo continues to grow from Australia, New Zealand and China. Good evening and welcome to FBC News. I'm Amrita Priyadarshini. 4 high school students will be appearing in court tomorrow charged with raping an 18-year-old girl. This latest case has the Fiji police force worried that parents and guardians aren't taking an interest in their children's lives. Vosita Kote Wasawasa reports.
The alleged rape happened about 2 weeks ago in Kinoya, Nasinu during a fundraising event. Police spokesperson Anane Soro says parents shouldn't allow their children to attend social events without checking who they are going with.
These children are leaving their homes and therefore they are getting permission to either go, if not something that the parents that they should really monitor, because of the fact that we believe that parents should know and understand who their children are spending their times with. Even if they're going to another friend's home, the parents can also cross-check with the other parents to confirm whether there is an activity that their children will be involved in and what sort of activities will be taking place and also who will be attending such activities.
According to Nesoro, this isn't the first incident involving high school students where there's been more than one perpetrator.
We've noticed from the cases that have been investigated and have been brought before the courts is that more than one student is involved. And we're trying to dig deeper into that. Investigators have also been told to look into the root causes as to why the students are getting involved. And one of the areas that we believe is the influence that they've been, or the things that they've been exposed to.
The force believes while mass media is a contributing factor, it's every parent and caregiver's duty to ensure the well-being of children. 2 of the accused in this incident are aged 15, another is 16 years old, while the 4th accused is 17. Vosita Kotiwaswasa, FBC News.
A 38-year-old man will appear in the Nandi Magistrates Court tomorrow for allegedly using forged travelling documents. He was arrested at the Nandi airport on Wednesday after police received information that he had forged his name on his Fiji passport. The accused from Australia was in Fiji when his wife informed local authorities, which resulted in his arrest. He's been charged with 2 counts of forgery and 2 counts of using forged documents. The Criminal Investigations Department says other similar cases are being investigated where people have been using the identities and particulars of other people. This is particularly for those who have criminal records and try to travel or make financial gain without attracting the attention of authorities. Fiji needs more caregivers to care for the elderly. That's the view of one community worker, Sister Amy Francis, who spent more than 3 decades looking after those who have no one else to turn to. Shireen Lata reports.
Sister Amy Francis has spent the longest time at the Home of Compassion in Suva, looking after elderly citizens. Over the years, she has noticed an increasing demand for caregivers, but says there are only a handful who are interested in a job like hers. Sister Amy believes lack of skills and training could be the reason.
I think the government needs to put a lot more of resources into the care of the aged and the elderly and to improve the quality of care.
It's not easy dedicating one's life to the care of others, a selfless choice which requires patience and compassion.
Basic knowledge or understanding of the elderly people, their psychology and their patience just those skills. And also there are skills on how to work with them, like the art of lifting.
Sister Amy says being a caregiver for more than 30 years has been very rewarding.
It's a very fulfilling work to be involved in. It gives you job satisfaction if that's what you're being called to.
The Health Ministry has said there's no doubt that there's a demand for skilled caregivers in Fiji. Numerous courses are being offered at tertiary institutions to help increase the number of skilled caregivers and improve the quality of care. Sharin Lata, FBC News.
A 24-year-old father who allegedly crushed his 4-month-old daughter while she was asleep has been charged with 1 count of manslaughter. Kamina Malo appeared in the Singatoka Magistrates Court on Friday and has been bailed with strict conditions. The 24-year-old is alleged to have been drunk when he slept on top of his daughter, resulting in her death. The case will be recalled on the 2nd of August. Coming up, exploring farming potential in the highlands of Viti Levu.
आपकी शादी होने वाली है, 5 बच्चे होंगे। 5 हाय, मैं हूँ आपकी सहेली रेनू। सुनते रहिए मिर्च एफएम, मैं हूँ ना 9 से 12 बजे तक।
Bula, I'm Wame. Join me every weekday from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. on The Center Show with classic hits from the 70s as well as the 80s right here on Gold FM.
Welcome back to FBC News. The search for a better life is never ending. In Fiji, it usually means moving to Suva to find a job and provide for the family. However, there are those who tough it out every day, content with what they have. Sharon Lata has this story about people in Namara squatter settlement on the skirts of Lambasa town.
This settlement is located 5 kilometers from Lambasa town. Most people here rely on casual labor to earn a living, while others tend to farming or fishing. Akisilo Bavai is one of the eldest residents in this area.
People of all races have been coming and asking for land. I allowed them to stay here, but told them there shouldn't be any differences against anyone. They all living happily.
Over the years, Namara has been supplied with electricity and running water. Public transport, though, is still an issue. Most of these families have come through some sort of hardship, and neighborly love has always seen them through.
I used to live in Wainunu. However, there was no source of income. I came here, did fishing, earned some money and built a home here.
Namara settlement is a flood-prone area. Residents have to be alert in times of heavy rain and flooding.
I was staying in a village, and just because of my school children, I moved into this area so that it's easy for me to look after my children, send my children to school.
It's a similar story for other families here, hoping that their children will have a better life through hard work and a good education. Sharin Lata, FBC News.
The increasing demand for Fiji dalo in the overseas markets has prompted the Agriculture Ministry to relook at its handling of the commodity. Traditional markets New Zealand and Australia have renewed their interest in our local taro, as well as newcomer China.
The demand from the large markets has the Agriculture Ministry reviewing its past performances.
We had reprioritized our programs in the ministry last month, and this is an area of reprioritization for refocus. Dalo is one of the commodity because of the challenges in New Zealand and Australia, also in the opening up of new markets in China.
With the challenge of sustaining supply, Waimbuta says they are banking on the tax incentives to boost Ndalo production.
It is also a challenge for us But nevertheless, it is our role that we ensure that we encourage farmers to produce and also to supply to these new markets. We understand the cost, but this is where government-to-government MOU comes in.
Fiji earns around $28 million annually from Dalo exports to New Zealand and Australia. With China coming in, more money will filter down to the farmers.
We are thankful to government, also through the Prime Minister's visit to China and also the Minister for Agriculture, Fisheries and Forests to China. They have established that the market and also the demand out there in China.
With such a high demand, the Agriculture Ministry is working to maintaining the interest of Ndala farmers to keep planting the commodity. Nikolonga, FBC News.
Moves are underway to improve agriculture in the provinces of Ba, Navasa and Neta Siri, which are part of Nandari Vatu in the highlands of Viti Levu. The Agriculture Ministry, with partners in Community Development Fiji, PCDF, have embarked on a project with the United Nations Development Fund to increase agricultural activity in the area.
The project, Partnership in High Value Agriculture, is aimed at enhancing the traditional farming skills of rural farmers.
It's a high chance for skill-up.
Funded by UNDP specifically for agriculture development, the money was channeled directly to PCDF to initiate the project in 9 villages in Sawatumba, 4 villages in Anrao Nabosa and 1 village in Etasiri.
Partnership in Community Development Fiji or PCDF have been existing in Fiji for the last 30 years and mostly designed to assist remote and rural communities.
PCDF, which works closely with government institutions, is keen to see that these young men and women become highly skilled farmers. It also wants to make sure that the knowledge imparted to them meet the targets of the project.
This project is designed for 2 years and is still in the pilot stage, targeting 13 villages in the Ndarivatu area, including the 7 settlements in that area.
More than 20 young men and women graduated with certificates in high-value agriculture on Friday at Lewa village in Sapatumba. Mikalonga, FBC News.
Ahead in sports, Eric Rush says Fiji deserves to host a leg in the IRB 7 series. And Rugby League officials off to Australia to check on Bati prospects.
Naiwasingaw na ni Bakatara, Bula, oya wasala bilawa. Do pataki yao may nagdiwa kinatini karona kaloko na singalebo ni moniti kinabagarumbuka. Kako ni balatana no musui ni sarisari. Na kaysa mariando loloma, leo ni wani ni nau. Omgori kede may nagdiwa kinatini karona kaloko na singalebo ni moniti kinabagarumbuka. And Bula FM, number 2 and sere.
I wake up in the morning, I prefer to go down to the gym, get a bit of physical work done. Also, later on in the day, I decide to go through for meditation. I do a bit of reading to find out what the latest songs are, a bit of research. And for me, it's all about the listeners.
Hey, what's up? I'm Rio, and this is the Traffic Jam every weekday from 3 o'clock to 7, only on Today FM. Today is hit music. What's up?
Looking at FBC Sports, Nandi is the second team in next year's OFC Champions League as they beat Ba 3-1 at Govind Park in Ba this afternoon in the Fiji Sun GP Batteries National Football League. Suva and Lotoka played to a 2-2 draw at the ANZ Stadium. The results this afternoon mean that Ba finished top on 40 points, Nandi second on 37, while Suva is now third with 35 points. In another match played today at Prince Charles Park in Nandi, Navua and Nandronga ended the game with a goalless draw. Now the sports fraternity has been abuzz with a speech by former All Black Sevens captain Eric Rush at the annual Sports Awards on Friday. In his parting words, he backed Fiji as a host country in the World 7 Series. However, as Shelvin Chand reports, Rush had more comic anecdotes to share than we'd have expected.
Because when I used to play, I come here and they always say to me, Rush, we're a big fan of you, but we hate you. Now they only say we're a big fan of you, so it's good.
This is how the night went for anyone who was at the Fiji Sports Awards. However, he did recognize that Fiji, more than any other rugby nation, is the home of sevens.
To me, Fiji is the home of sevens, and I think the World Series is not the proper World Series until you have a tournament here.
His address was filled with humor, tales of encounters with Fijians on the rugby pitch, and in all that, there was a message about the formula that will bring back the glory days.
I think there's a bright future ahead of Fijian sport. If you can keep your guys local and you get the right coaching in place, and I've always said this, and I know Gordon Titchens believes this as well, if you get the formula right, Fiji will never lose another sevens tournament in their lives. But
now that he's left the field, Rush didn't hesitate to give away some closely guarded secrets about how to beat Fiji.
Some of the teams I played against, absolutely unbelievable rugby teams, with De La Salle and Bonnie Baka and Sarevi and all those guys, all in the same team. The only way we could beat those guys is a sparring fight. Because those fast fellas, they don't like running when they got a blood nose. You know, it's the easiest guy to pick on was Bonnie Baka. You just run past Bonnie Baka and give him a little tap like that, that was it. You want to kill him for the rest of the game. And that was the only way we could beat Fiji, was to get them off their game. So, and Sarevi always knew it. He said, don't do it. He's just trying to do it on purpose. And you just look at Bonnie Baka and you give him a wink and you poke your tongue. He come running over and
The jokes flowed on and the night's entertainment was done. But in the end, this rugby legend counts himself a friend to Fiji. Shalvin Chand, FBC Sports.
Nanraga, Suva, Nandi and newcomers to the Digital Cup Namosi are through to the semi-final. Netasiri, who was in the top until last week, lost to a valiant Tailevu side at Nakelo District School. Here are the highlights of that game.
His territory, he moves sideways and then kicks forward, and he has succeeded. He's put points on the board. He moves forward and he too has dragged it outside the left-hand upright, and by doing so, and my word, there's a try that's in the making, the try that the ball was allowed to bounce. Tailevu stood there and watched the ball bounce forward, and again they go. Picking it up there was Levita Sau. Seen very little of him so far as it goes across onto the flank on the far side, and here's a chance for Siri. They're stopped just short of the goal line, and around they come for the try. The Tailevu players, and hold them up as out it comes, and out it goes again, and Dakui Tonga featured again, drove forward there, taken in the tackle, and he's got the try. Position as we wait, can they make it? Is it over? It is. Ball on the ground, reaching in. And there's Senaloli with a field. Unaki drives forward, and his kick is over, and it just could help him. He's kicked it and he's judged it well, and the flags go up. It goes on to 20 points to 16. Driving forward, but the ball coming out. A nice little chip forward from Vorley. It goes on across left, and there's Wanga. Wanga down the sideline, gives it infield, and there's the speed going away, and it's going to be Nasili Seli, and Nasili Seli scores a beautiful try.
Fiji National Rugby League officials are off to Australia next week. The trip is to reconfirm players for the World Cup and a show of support for banned player Jason Bukuya. Bukuya was part of the Cronulla Sharks outfit that has been suspended for alleged use of banned substances. Shalvin Chand has more.
Jason Bukuya has been on top of his game in recent matches. His suspension is a blow for his club and for the Fiji Mbati, which was looking forward to using the robust second rower for the World Cup campaign.
We want to support the player through other means. We have our pastor, national team pastor, Ilitia Tangitimwa. He's traveling to the team in the World Cup, and he's been traveling, visiting all our players, just to provide spiritual guidance.
Officials will be speaking to the Fijians in the NRL, getting their commitment for the squad come October.
Importantly is to brief them about what's for the World Cup and what we are looking at.
FNRL is tight-lipped on the availability of players like John Sutton. However, it hasn't denied that NRL players would be part of the World Cup.
All the NRL players have expressed their interest. We can say with confidence that Petro is there and Wes. But for the others, till they march into camp, then we'll be firm on that.
The Mbati have to have a strong team as they are pooled with Australia, England and Ireland in the World Cup. Shalvin Chand, FBC Sports.
Athletics Fiji believes it's been left high and dry after another sprinting prospect chose rugby over athletics. School's blue ribbon sprinter Beniamino Maravu has been drafted into the Fiji Sevens team. While Athletics Fiji says the move is good for the sprinter, it wants rules to protect the sport and its future. Shalvin Chand has more.
Athletics Fiji knows that the high school sprinter has a better chance of making it to the Olympics with rugby, but they don't want to lose athletes this way.
There's nothing much we can do. We did whatever we could to keep him in the squad, but like I said, there's a lot of loose ends that needs to be tied up, between sporting federations and Team Fiji and Fasanok, and where they need to put their foot down when these things come up. So that really we're not left high and dry. Yeah?
Another up-and-coming prospect is Aaron Powell, and Albert Miller can only hope that he sticks to the tracks.
And I think, fingers crossed that he'll continue with athletics and thrive in the sprinting events. So we can always use people like with his talent.
Another 2 athletes in the meantime are headed to the World Championship.
Leslie's already gone. He'll be based in Germany. Working with one of the great javelin throwers, or former throwers, and now is a coach in Germany. So from there they will head on to Moscow, and Banduve will be leaving on the first week of August.
Athletics Fiji's next challenge will be the Pacific Mini Games in September, where they hope to bag as many medals as possible. Shalvin Chand, FBC Sports.
Showers was experienced over the eastern and the interior of the larger islands. This means rain in Suva and Savu-Savu. Afternoon or evening showers were experienced elsewhere. Temperatures were fairly even in most centres. Lautoka and Lambasa recorded a high of 31 degrees, while Suva and Savu-Savu were 28. And just to note, the Nandi Weather Office expects temperatures to drop again tonight, as low as 18 in Ba and Lambasa. Monday will begin with a mix of fine weather and cloudy conditions, turning to afternoon or evening showers in Suva, Savu-Savu and Lambasa. And rain is expected to prevail from Tuesday. The further outlook is for occasional showers over most places. For mariners, east to southeast winds 15 to 20 knots, moderate to rough seas, moderate southeast swells. Recapping the headlines. Rape incident sees police sound a warning to parents to always be aware of their children's whereabouts. Men arrested in Nandi airport after entering Fiji with a forged passport. And demand still growing for Dalo exports to Australia, New Zealand and China. Let's take another look at the FBC opinion poll question. Should Fiji FA combine Tavua soccer with Vatukola? Visit our website www.fbc.com.fj to have your say. This is your last chance as the poll closes tomorrow. Remember to send us newsworthy pictures and videos. Email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj. That's all from the newsroom tonight. Be sure to join the team again tomorrow. I'll see you next weekend. Stay safe and good night.
How would you like to spend your morning? You could spend your morning like this. Or you could spend it like this.
Tune in to the morning ride every weekday morning from 9 a.m. till 12 p.m. right here on Today FM, Today's Hit Music.
सूरज की पहली किरण के साथ दिन की शुरुआत कीजिए। सुबह का मंगल प्रभात आपको शुभ हो। सुबह सुबह हो खुशियों का मेला, ना लोगों की परवाह ना दुनिया का झमेला। पंछियों का संगीत हो और मौसम अलबेला। मुबारक हो आपको ये खूबसूरत सवेरा। हर सोमवार से लेकर शुक्रवार तक सुबह 6 से लेकर 9 बजे तक शामिल रहें रेडियो फिजी 2 पर हम सफर में रविंद्र सिंह के साथ।